Welcome to Sustainable Sense, where we invest in climate defense. You're in for our hot take on all things money, markets, and the environment. There's nothing better than the feeling of a cool, crisp drink of water on a summer day. Some of us fill our thermoses with tap water, and others go for bottled water. But at what cost? $100 billion. So every weekend, my family goes to Costco, and every time we stop to get a plastic wrap package of 24 Ozarka water bottles. It's got that signature red label and its clear, crinkly encasing. But what we don't realize is that with each purchase, we are falling for one of the biggest corporate scams of the 21st century. Single-use plastic water bottles significantly contribute to pollution and energy consumption while simultaneously placing a financial strain on consumers. It's easy to get sucked into the attractive water bottle commercials that claim added minerals and vitamins can solve all of your health concerns. I mean, in the digital age, society has been trained to believe in gimmicks and scams we see on the internet, all because of carefully chosen tactics by private corporations that take advantage of society in its hypnotic state to selfishly expand their profit margins. The average cost of a gallon's worth of bottled water is $9.50. That's 3 times more expensive than a gallon price of milk and almost 4 times as expensive as a gallon of regular gasoline. And we thought gas prices were infuriating. Here in the United States, in most places actually, water from your taps and faucets is pretty safe to drink, though it may be hard for many to believe. Of course, there are some exceptions like the well-known Flint water crisis, but besides that, there are many places in the US that have access to safe drinking water from their faucets. Peter Glay, co-founder at the Pacific Institute and expert on climate change and global water crises, states that we've gotten here step by step down a dangerous road of converting a public resource into a private commodity. And he's right. Water is supposed to be a universal and abundant resource readily accessible for people to consume, but private corporations greedy for profit are exploiting us through discreet advertising and marketing tactics. Over the years, we've fallen into the trap of spending useless dollars on a resource that's readily available in most households today. We're just stuck in a cycle of manipulation and scared to change an ingrained habit. Bottled water is advertised as a healthier alternative to soda, which of course it is, but they also claim that it's superior to tap water, which I wouldn't say is exactly true. It's all about catching the public's eye with promises of purity and refreshment. I mean, the Super Bowl is known for its extremely flashy ads. These marketers have made it their mission to convince us to be constantly worried about our safety of water and dehydration, and frankly, some of this is misinformation. Glake adds that the efforts to sell bottled water have been helped by the growing concern about the quality of our tap water, and that's in part due to the fact that our tap water isn't being protected as well as it ought to be. See, some people are consoled by the fact that the plastic bottle of water they're buying has a little sign that says, "Recycle me," as if just that alone will solve any problem. But let's be real here. Americans throw away 35 billion plastic bottles a year, and of those, only 12% are recycled. That's only 12 bottles recycled per person a year. The economic consequences of mass production and consumption of bottled water are detrimental. The total global consumer expenditures for bottled water are approximately $100 billion annually. Bottled water costs approximately $3 per liter, while tap water costs about $3 for 1,000 liters, and it's the same quality of water. This substantial sum reflects both consumers' willingness to pay for convenient and dependable drinking water and society's capacity to allocate comparable resources towards enhancing private water supplies, allowing these companies to expand their return on investment. So, what can we do about this whole situation? I know bottled water is hard to give up, but by buying bottled water, say that 5 times fast, we are investing in the wrong companies. We are condoning the commercialization of water, when instead we should be consuming the already available water sources available in many homes. We need to be investing more into public water facilities because they provide just as good water without the malicious intentions. Well, are you ready to hear from your boy Tap Water and meet his rival Bottled Water? Introducing the Great Water Showdown. Today we'll be hearing from two contestants, tap water and bottled water, who will be calling in just shortly. Our first contestant is none other than the mighty tap water. Tap water, tell us why you're not just a refreshing choice, but a superhero of ethical goodness.
Well, folks, not only am I the affordable option, but I come with a splash of ethical justice. Public water facilities have a noble mission, serving the common good, rather than chasing profits. Plus, who doesn't want to show off their cute water bottle while making the right choice?
Absolutely. Now let's turn our attention to the sneaky villain, bottled water. What's the deal with the private sector involvement, and why should we be cautious?
Sup, peeps? It's your boy, Bottled Water. I come in many different shapes and sizes. Core, Dasani, Kirkland, and of course, we can't forget my boy Fiji Water.
Right. If you have at least $1 billion, don't forget to invest all of it in Fiji water.
Haha, very funny, Tap Water. I mean, you're not exactly wrong. I may have a fancy label, but let's not forget that private companies almost always want that moolah, or money as you all call it, over everything else. That can mean higher costs for you, and worse yet, those marginalized communities getting left out. It's like a never-ending water debt cycle.
Oh, not the dreaded debt cycle. But wait, there is more. Let's talk about everyone's favorite, the I word, inflation. Bottled water, how does your price hike contribute to this vicious cycle?
It's all about supply and demand, amigos. When demand exceeds supply, prices start to rise, causing inflation. And guess what? As prices rise, people spend more, creating an even higher demand. It's a never-ending loop of money, money, money.
Wow, that's quite the water waltz we're in. But fear not, because here comes the cavalry, the public water facilities. Tap water, show us how they can save the day with their superpowers.
My pleasure. Public water facilities have the ability to be environmental champions. They can implement conservation measures, upgrade infrastructure, and even invest in research and development. These are things many big corporations can't do, so we're ensuring a sustainable future.
Sustainable future.
You're just jealous as always. I would be jealous of myself too.
Okay, guys, back to the showdown. But let's not forget our friends in the marginalized communities. How can investing in the public water sector help them, tap water?
By supporting public water, we're making sure that everyone, regardless of their circumstances, has access to this vital resource. It's a step toward a fair and more inclusive world. We can quench the thirst of the less fortunate one glass at a time. Forget about those flimsy plastic bottles, folks. Just grab your trusty hydro flask, Stanley cup, or even a regular thermos and fill it up with some good old tap water. These reusable flasks are built to last, and you can take them anywhere you go. And of course, you can't forget how you can directly hook me up to your coffee machine so you don't have to constantly fill it up with, bottled water.
Psh, you're right. Who really wants to lug around a metal tank just to hold some warm water from a lame-old tap? Just grab a refrigerated bottle from one of my 30 packs and hit the road, G.
Yeah, and end up being tossed out the window for some poor animal to choke on? Doesn't sound very fun to me.
You're right, tap water. And for those of us who still may be unsure about tap water, there's another cost-effective solution. Tap water, care to enlighten us?
You can still ditch those disposable bottles by purchasing a simple filter. One filter can be a cheaper alternative to constantly buying bottled water. In fact, a top quality, long lasting water filter can cost as little as $150. That's a bargain compared to the weekly expense of plastic bottles.
Now, before we wrap up, any last thoughts on those crafty private companies' bottled water?
Whoa, don't be caught tripping by those fancy charity claims. Private companies may toss a few dollars here and there, but their true mission is profit. Bottled water may be convenient, but I know for sure that we can't trust that their hearts are as pure as their water.
Yeah, and no one wants to go broke from spending money on you.
Fantastic advice, bottled water. So, folks, whether you're rocking a stylish flask or filtering your tap water, remember that sustainability and affordability go hand in hand. We can quench our thirst and protect our planet. So, there you have it. Tap water is reigning supreme in this epic battle of refreshment. Thank you for sticking with us on the Great Water Showdown, and we hope you've enjoyed our water wisdom and are ready to make a splash in your daily hydration routine. That's it for today's show. And as always, invest your cents in climate defense.